Well, hey there. My name is Allison Bixby. I am the founder and host of Saturday Pages, which is a mostly weekly gathering of journal writers who love to gather together and take pen to page and explore our inner landscape, see what's going on in our hearts and our souls and our minds, and see how we can trace the thread of God's grace in our given lives. And I know that for some people, showing up to something for the first time can be intimidating because you might be wondering, what am I even getting myself into? And while I never record live Saturday pages just to protect the privacy and to respect the participants who do show up, I wanted to record what one feels like, what one might be like if you were to come, so that you could get a feel for it, get that experience, and then make a decision on whether or not you think this is for you. So, what I'll be able to do with this sample recording, where it's just me, no other participants, is walk through the welcome, the setup, the entrance meditation that I provide, which always leads us into our journal writing. And then at that point, while we in a live Saturday pages, the journal writing would continue for about 12, 13 minutes, and then we would stop it with about 5 minutes left of our 30 minutes and check in with each other for some conversation. I'll explain a little bit more about how that goes once we lead into the journal writing time as a part of this sample session. And while I won't pause for 12 or 13 minutes in the course of this video, you could pause it when we get to the journal writing part and use the prompt that I've got available in this sample recording and journal that, and then press play when you're all done and come back and listen to how we would typically finish things out. So I invite you to do that if that's what you would like. And otherwise, sit back and enjoy. So, welcome to Saturday Pages. I am so thrilled that you're here today on a Saturday morning when you probably have lots of other things to do, but that you chose to be here. Is a true gift, and I'm super thankful for that. This is the first Saturday Pages of the month, which means we're in a brand new theme. And for this month, we're choosing wintering as our theme. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I came to this theme for us in Saturday Pages. I'm not a New Year's resolutions kind of person. And if you are, I love that for you. And I have all the respect in the world that you embrace that. But I'm a little different, and I need a gentler landing into a brand new year. And so when I came across this idea of wintering, which is embracing really the season we find ourselves in, which is currently winter, there are gifts there for us. And rather than fighting against something that we may not love or want, we can embrace that current season. And sometimes that involves looking back to what has led us into this season, embracing the gifts we find here, and then also thinking about what gifts we have in this season that we can take forward into the coming ones. So that's a little bit behind the theme that I've chosen for us for this month. And so all of our prompts will be around this idea of wintering in different aspects. And then if I can get it to forward here for us. Okay, give me just a second. All right, so here we are with our prompt, and I like to just give a little explanation about the prompt, and then I'll do what's called a guided entrance meditation. So our morning prompt here, you can see our wintering theme, which aren't those pictures just so cozy? I love them. And a quote from Catherine May, who actually wrote a book by the title Wintering. And she says, if we can listen to it, winter invites us into a more contemplative mode. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't love cold. I don't love winter. Um, it's not my favorite. I'm always looking forward to spring and then summer when I can go to the beach, but I do want to see what is available to me if I embrace the season that I do find myself in. And so that's the question there at the bottom, the prompt for this morning of what is winter inviting you to consider. And in just a minute here, I'm going to lead us through this entrance meditation that is designed to help you begin to contemplate that question. But just know that I don't want you to feel like, oh, I have to manufacture certain thoughts or ideas as Allison's talking. Not the intent at all. What the entrance meditation is designed to do is to bring us to a centered, slower moment where we begin to look inward and we begin to ask God what He might show us in this quiet moment as we slow our breathing, as we contemplate winter and all that it offers. And so I invite you now, if it's comfortable, to close your eyes. And if it's not, if you're like, oh, I'm not a close my eyes kind of person, if you can just find a spot where you can let your gaze rest. Maybe it's out the window, it's something beautiful right out your window, or a favorite cozy spot in your house, or even just down in your lap. That will help you begin, as one of my mentors has said, to gather yourself to yourself. And so, as you begin to close your eyes or soften your gaze, I want you to notice your breath. Our breath is the first signal to our nervous system of how we're doing. And if our breathing is rapid, shallow, quick, we're holding our breath, our nervous system is going to have a hard time relaxing. And so, whatever else may be on your mind, whatever stressors externally might be pressing in, see if by slowing and deepening your breath, if you can exhale that stress. And if you can remind your nervous system, remind yourself that you are safe and you are fully present in this moment. As I continue to talk over the next couple of minutes, I invite you to keep your breath steady, full, and deep. Being fully present in this moment will enable us to listen to what winter is inviting us to contemplate, rather than hiding under the covers, putting our head in the snow, pushing away a season of difficulty or a season we may not want. What if instead we came with a compassionate, listening posture? Knowing first that we are not alone in this season, that God is with us. Knowing that, yes, there may be tender, difficult things and simultaneously good gifts. But these gifts are not pushy or showy or demanding. They will ask of us, if they are to be found, that we slow down. Over the next minute or so, the invitation is for you to think of winter. Perhaps certain words come to mind, and I won't fill in the blanks of those because I want you to allow your mind and your heart and your soul to bring forward whatever is needed. Maybe when you hear the word winter, certain images or memories come to mind. Perhaps a certain smell is evoked, or a certain texture or touch. Whatever comes to mind, meet it with compassionate curiosity. Not judgment, not shame, not stress, not pressure. For you are free in this moment to embrace what is, even if that's nothing. Because as a favorite teacher once told me, sometimes nothing is the gift. Remember to continue to deepen, expand, and fully breathe. Asking yourself, what is winter inviting me to consider? You are welcome to sit in this space of simply being and gathering yourself to yourself for as long as you would like. When you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and take pen to page with today's prompt. Okay, so this is where in a typical Saturday Pages, everybody would begin writing. I would mute myself so you don't hear any of my distracting noises, and we would all simply write alone, but together. For again, it usually is about 12, 13 minutes, kind of depending on how long all the intro stuff took. And so if that's you, if you want to take some time, and I would love that and encourage it, if you want to take some time to respond to that prompt, go for it. You can pause the video here and then come on back. And so what would happen next after that few minutes of journaling occurs at the last minute or with about a minute or so of the writing time left, I usually tell people, see if you can find a place to pause. 12 or 13 minutes for some people is not very long. And so sometimes they have to pause and know that they're going to come back and finish out that prompt later, and that's great. And then I also tell people, spend the next minute as you find that place to stop, reading back over the words that you've written. What do you notice? What stands out to you in the words on your page? Is there repetition? Is there a theme? Are there questions? Are there feelings that rise to the surface as you reread? Whatever you notice as in that rereading, make yourself a note at the end of your entry. This is what I observed. And again, there's no pressure. There's not a right or a wrong answer, a right or a wrong way to journal. Or to look at the words on the page, but you're providing your mind another opportunity to create new connections, to bring integration, and really integration neurologically is what brings us peace and healing. And so it's why I always offer that as an opportunity. So after that minute has passed, I call everybody back and say, all right, I want to open it up for some conversation. I want to check in with everybody, see how that went. Ask if you want to share anything. You can do that in the comments. You can type in something you'd like to share. You can unmute yourself and verbally share with us something you wrote, an idea you had, a question that popped up, any insights you gained, how that prompt went for you. Really anything is fair game. We've got, just about 5 minutes here at the end of Saturday Pages. And so we'll have time for a couple people to share here. So I'll sit back and open up the floor and see what you've got. And so then almost inevitably, 2, 3 people decide that they want to share. I think in the 2.5 years I've been doing Saturday Pages, there's only maybe been one time that nobody wanted to share. And I always tell people too that I'm okay with silence. I have 3 dogs, 6 chickens. My son has a pet Dumbo rat. I have 3 kids. We are a busy, lively, noisy household. So if all we do is sit in silence for the next couple of minutes, I'm always more than okay with that. Um, but inevitably, usually people want to share something. And in the sharing, we're not looking to problem solve or give advice. Usually, all I simply say to people is, thank you so much for sharing that. Sometimes I'll comment on something that really resonated or a way that maybe what they shared connects to something I wrote down, right? Very simple, but a time for us to connect with each other.